Hi there, sorry to keep you waiting. What would you like to order today? What? Lotus soup? We don't serve that here. What? Sundew salad? Where does that come from? Get out of my restaurant. We don't serve that stuff here. Well, once again, I find myself head to head against an RP deck. I would like to think that I am more tacked against RP than most other criminal decks, but it is still a bad matchup, don't get me wrong. RP's ability to lock me out of running my run economy is a huge problem, especially because many of the ice is very taxing to the point that almost no point in doing security testing anymore if there's ice on the server. And unlike other Glacier Corps, RP can actually afford to install remote servers, empty, undefended remotes with mental health clinics and Sundew without worrying about me security testing them because I need to get through a central server first. So that is a really annoying a really annoying feature of RP that you see come into play this game. My opening hand consists of a couple of good cards. The early Sentry Breaker is huge. It allows me to run early on, so the Ferry is a must. And Dirty Laundry security testing is a good combo to have. I'll be looking to combo both cards on turn 2. Alright, game on. He starts with a decent opening, 2 ice, and something on a remote server. So I start by trying to challenge one of his central servers because he didn't start with a hedge fund, so he cannot res Tsurugi or the like against me. If he reses a Kumainu, he'll be dirt poor, which is good. So he doesn't res, I see nothing, and I proceed to install security testing. Good news is he does not block me. More importantly, he leaves me an open remote, the mental health clinic, to security test, but I'll do it on archives instead. I see a hedge fund, and I proceed to combo John Masnori security testing, gains me $2, 1 card, the same old thing. So that's good, but hopefully I won't get locked up. I was pretty confident this game of installing John Masnori this early because I'm seeing that he has 2 remotes and he doesn't bother to defend either of them. So this should bode well for me, at least for the next few turns, where hopefully he won't find too much ice. Unfortunately, I believe that's a Jackson he has in his remotes. No, he's not Jacksoning up, so that's not a Jackson, but he does find his Celebrity Gift, and he shows me, among other things, a Future Perfect and a Caprice Nisei. That's pretty bad news. Alright, so I just continue solidifying my economy. It's looking good so far. I have decent economy and I actually have all my breakers. Little does he know that. And I checked what I thought was his Jackson Howard. Turns out it's a Cronus project. Ooh, sneaky. Very naughty. Yep. Thankfully he didn't get that off because that would completely screw with my plan of recursing spoons, forks, knives, and account ciphers. But in response, he ices up archives in response to my John Masnori, so now I'm done for. But thankfully, since I found all my breakers, I'm able to do this. Install all my breakers and run. With 3 credits, I'm pretty sure I can get through anything because I have a Ferry on the board. Sure enough, it's a Tsurugi that I can easily break. And the John Masnori draws me my awesome Mimic, so I don't have to worry about not being able to get through next turn. And with my last click, I'm security testing Sundew, bringing me back up to a healthy credit level. But because I did not trash the Jackson Howard, he gets a Jackson off, which means that he probably can purge the Future Perfect from his hand, as well as the other agendas he drew, which is quite annoying. Nothing much I can do about that, sadly. Now, a good play here would be to security test either Sundew or Mental Health Clinic, and then run archives to force out the Jackson without having to trash him myself, because there are almost certainly agendas there. So here but never mind, because he was afraid of the Hades Shard play, so he's reshuffling all his agendas with Jackson Howard, so I didn't have to do that. So now I security test R&D. What the hell am I thinking here? I have no idea. Yes. So, did you see that play coming? So basically, I install Mimic. I have just enough credits to make a successful run, and I security tested R&D because I wanted to gain some credits, and with the last click, I'm still able to run and access R&D. So yes, it's click efficiency here. I guess I could do it the other way. I could security test the Sundew or the Mental Health Clinic, run R&D, access 1 card, then do my security testing. Either way works, but this is slightly better because it allows me to steal NAPD. which I wouldn't have been able to steal otherwise. So yes, very subtle, is very, very subtle right there. So yes, he does continue protecting R&D, which is a huge pain because he actually has more than enough credits to res anything against me. He reses a Merlin, so now I know he's playing real RP. That's pretty annoying, but the good news is I can still get through it. The good thing about Grail Ice is that I don't have to pay more than 3 credits to break any of Merlin, Lancelot, or Galahad, unless he's playing IT Department, which would be a huge annoyance. I would hate to see that. So I can still break even on my central runs for now. Costing 3 credits or less, I can make a central run followed by a security testing run, and that would be fine. I actually intended to spoon his Merlin next turn. Unfortunately, he ices that Merlin back up, so that play is out of the question. So I double security test his mental health clinic, and I tried to make a run on HQ where I knew there was a Caprice Nice waiting for me, and of course I failed the Caprice side game, wasting my 2 credits on Breach. So this is one of the few cases where Breach actually works out cheaper than Corroder. Very, very rarely can you say that. Now here we have a little debate. I think he's right. You cannot gain both security testing. You cannot gain security testing from both cards if you have 2 security testings installed, if you target them on the same server. My impression was that you cannot gain both security testings on the same run, but you can make 2 successive runs each time you liberate 1 security testing. Apparently you can't do that because security testing explicitly states it triggers only on the first successful run on that server. So on your first successful run, you can either choose to activate security testing number 1 or security testing number 2, not both. And once you activate one, the other one cannot be activated because you are done with your first successful run on that server, which makes sense. And I installed the same old thing after that. But something that both of us didn't really notice because we are playing on Octagon instead of in real life is that I actually gain a tag from the HQ run because Caprice Nice knocked me into an unsuccessful run. So I suddenly realized that, oh dear, the tag could kill me. I cannot afford to let my same old things get trashed. That would be a tragedy. I definitely need recursion in this deck. It is one of the most important pieces come to the mid-late game. It allows me to tutor most of my cards. So I fail the Caprice run again, and it becomes pretty obvious that I'm going to float tags from now on. So that will be the case. And while I still get my security testings for now, and my John Masnori draw because he didn't realize that I'm actually tagged. Instead, he goes for the jugular. He tries to score an agenda quickly. So I need to contest it. And this is a prime time to contest it because he's attempting to rush, which means he's not protecting it with Caprice Nice. He's not protecting it with Ash. This is the time to strike. Hopefully, I can get through. He must be pretty confident about my inability to get through the server. So I install a Corroder and Inside Job. This is probably why he's so confident that I cannot get through that server, because I have a central only breaker in Breach that he thinks I cannot break. Himitsu Bako or Galahad with. Well, he's wrong. I ninja the Nisei from his hands. So that's a very, very important steal right there. Being able to convert 2 points from him into 2 points from me, and most importantly, deny the Nisei token, that changes the game. So now I'm looking very healthy, but I still need to worry about the 3 tags that I have. So now is a good chance to double security testing. First, I attempt to whack the Caprice Nisei once again. It's being very annoying. Third HQ run still proves unsuccessful. So I'm still going to get my security testing money. Now I'm pretty rich with 10 credits. But I'm still aware that he can blow them up anytime, and that would reset me. Thankfully, I still have another security testing and another John Masnori in my hand. Now, what I was doing here was to dig for my other solution to Merlin, which is Passport, which I finally found. The problem with running Centrals now is that I do not have enough dog tokens to spoon a Merlin. So that was what I was looking for. The Passport, I need to break all the subroutines of Merlin in order to spoon it. So in the meantime, he continues gaining money. I'm not sure why. He's way too rich at this point. And I once again try to gain money with security testing. So my donk is done. It's a bit risky doing this because this leaves me vulnerable to code gates on the remote. But I have to do this for the sake of getting through his central servers. I spoon his R&D, and unfortunately he nicely protected his Merlin with a Quandary, so my spoon hits the Quandary instead. That's a huge pity. But I'll still go on to trash the Quandary so I can Semo spoon the Merlin later. I'm definitely bleeding credits here, but there's not much I can do about it. Cerberus Rex Passport is less of an efficient code gate breaker than Cerberus Rex because breaking 3 Merlin subroutines costs an additional 3 credits, which would otherwise be free with Cerberus Rex. So Steakhouse is barely making ends meet at this point. I haven't seen anything real juicy yet from his central servers, and the doors keep shutting on HQ. Every time I want to get in, they just say no. Losing all the side games is really annoying and really screws up my game plan because I finally joined my account Siphon, but I cannot use it. I have 2 legworks in my hand, I can't use them. So this is the problem with going all in on HQ pressure. You are leaving yourself very open to plays like this, and I cannot afford at all to get into HQ. I don't have a sneak door beta. Things are not looking good. I really wish I had a sneak door beta here that would have changed the entire flow of the game. So I do find my Cerberus Rex, that's the good news. But I'm not able to security test his servers anymore because there's an Excalibur on R&D that I will never be able to break. I don't even have Fem here. And here's the bad news. He finally realizes I'm floating tag after tag and decides to trash my same old thing. Uh-oh. Okay, game just got really hard. Thankfully, his Merlin is gone. My spoon actually did destroy the Merlin, so there's that. But yeah, that is not good news at all. So now all I can do is to try to claw my way back up, use as many security testings as I can before he blows them all up. And sure enough, he blows them up. At least this will cost him a couple of clicks, which I desperately need to buy some breathing room for myself. In the meantime, I security test and go for a legwork. There really is no time right now to that's the thing, because the legworks are sitting in my hand as dead cards, so I might as well just throw a legwork. If I win the side game, at least I'll access 3 cards. There's no time to make a regular HQ run followed by an account Siphon. And of course I failed the side game because I'm lousy at them. This is the 4th failed side game. It's really hurting me that I'm spending so many credits on HQ with no results at all. Well, at least I still get my security testing off. Now, R&D unfortunately is out of bounds right here because Excalibur will prevent me from making any more runs, which means I cannot security test the remotes, which is horribly annoying. The good news is the ice that he plays as the outermost ice on HQ is a Lotus Field that I can bounce off. It's not a Grail ice that I have to be worried about, that I have to break. So I can actually run to his hand, followed by bouncing off into one of the remotes. If I need to security test, if I need to contest his remote, there's that option. And yeah, should I have contested his economy? Probably. But on the same note, having the double mental health clinic on the board has helped me with keeping a high hand size and allowed me to get lots of security testings off, very importantly. So once again, here you see me doing my desperate plays. I'm blindly account siphoning. If I get the Caprice side game win, I'm going to trash his Caprice instead of siphoning. Unfortunately, that did not happen. I would have trashed Caprice instead because at that point I was just using account Siphon as a way to run HQ while getting 1 free credit. I am Ken Tenma after all. Unfortunately, this is the 5th side game I failed and HQ remained nigh impenetrable. I really needed to exploit his HQ right there, and not being able to get through was a huge pain because I'm pretty sure he has agendas stacked in HQ, but I just can't get to them. So my only other route right now, as you see me attacking, is R&D. This means I cannot security test, but I have no security testings out anyway. He has destroyed them all. And I see ELP and Sundew. ELP is pretty painful. Well, but I'm Ken Tenma, I have lots of run events, at least there's that. So he gets the ELP going. Alright, that's not good news at all. So now I have to play much more passively. No more rampant running. But I do find my double plan assault, which is useless by now. That's the biggest problem with plan assault. That's why I don't like running it. It's a dead card if you don't draw it early, and I didn't draw it early. The only run event left in my deck that is worth tutoring is Knife. That's the only cutlery that I haven't drawn yet. All my other cutlery is now in the bin, and I think I've used up all my recursion, so there's no option of destroying the Merlin on R&D anymore. That would have been a good play. I can't get there. Alright, he tries to score an agenda. I really don't think I can make it in. I only have one inside job and it's in the bin right now because I used it to get the Nisei. So I'm just going to run R&D and hope that I can find something from that. It's a Tsurugi and a Merlin. I'm having the worst luck ever. Or maybe all the agendas are clumped up in HQ, which I couldn't get to. Probably that's the case. What can I do? I'm completely helpless against this. Alright, so he does score the NAPD in the remote. It wasn't a future perfect that I thought it was. But as R&D gets further locked out, I find myself in a world of hurt. Now I have 2 dirty laundries here, which is good news, but I actually want to reserve them for contesting the remote. Because with ELP out, I really want to have lots of run events being available for me. So I'm just going to click for credits and make a normal run on R&D. I need to save my run events for challenging his remote server. Alright. Yeah. So he does not rest the ice, it seems. So I'm going to break the Merlin. And at this point, it's really all about trying to save up for credits so that he cannot get a clear scoring window. Hopefully, my run events can allow me to make multiple successful runs on the remote, which would translate into stealing agendas, because right now, R&D is way too taxing to get in. HQ is impenetrable with Caprice. I have to contest the remote, and now's my chance. He advances an agenda. Now, how am I going to get in? I have 9 credits, which is pretty respectable. But with ELP on the board, it looks like I have to spend a couple of clicks running a central first. Unless I do a dirty laundry, there isn't even a security testing. So here, I perform a legwork on HQ, and I bounce off immediately on the Lotus field. I'm not interested in running through HQ again. Then I install my Cerberus Rex because I'm very sure that there's a Merlin on the remote that I don't want to hit. Now he raises an Excalibur against me as I attempt to dirty laundry his remote, and turns out there was no Crook Gate, so that was a poor judgment on my part. I should have realized that with 2 Merlins on the centrals, and I think I binned 1 Merlin with Spoon, there was no Merlin on the remote. I could have saved my Cerberus credits. Instead, I got hit by a Galahad that I couldn't contest because I was too poor. So as a result, he scores the Nisei. I'm in a lot of trouble. Yep, that's the future perfect. I don't think I can win. So I attempt to double click a run through R&D. That's the most I can do. Let's see if he resists that piece of ice. He's down to 9 credits. He's probably doing some calculations here. I don't think it really matters unless it's a Wall of Thorns. He doesn't res it. I'm going to break the Merlin. Hopefully I see 2 very big agendas right here. But it doesn't matter. He's going to kick me out with Nisei Mark II. And with 2 clicks left, I wanted to dirty laundry his Caprice server. No, I wanted to dirty laundry his mental health clinic to get enough credits to run his Caprice. I thought I could do that and I realized I had 0 credits left. Oh gosh. I needed 2 credits to run dirty laundry to get a couple credits more. But I didn't have the credits. I was flat out broke. So with 0 credits to my name, there's absolutely nothing I can do at this point. I have to concede. And sure enough, that was the future perfect that gave him the win. So the very marginal piece of good news there was that I actually managed to force the Nisei token out before he got the win. But otherwise, that was a very ugly game that reared its butt and reinforces why RP is such a disgusting archetype right now. Caprice Nisei on HQ completely screwed my game. I had a lot of marbles in my bag devoted to destroying HQ. all the juicy meats and savory vegetables are all in there. I just can't get to them. And when you're a steakhouse that is starving for money, starving for agendas, that's not gonna do. And unfortunately, yep, the side games were not in my favor today. Enhanced Login Protocol is less devastating against Ken Tenma than most other decks, sure, because of all the run events. But you realize that when I'm playing multiple run events in one turn just to circumvent ELP, I'm actually losing out on my ability to gain so many credits with my ID ability. So that is still very disruptive to my game plan. So once again, I've lost to RP. I most certainly want to chase it out of my restaurant and out of this town for good. But unfortunately, with Claude coming out, it's only going to get stronger from here on out. In fact, I'd much rather play against Astrobiotics than this stupid deck. Thanks for watching. Happy net running. Goodbye.